Hey guys, Chuck with chuckit.com. I wanted to talk today about mental attitude, and I want to give you four things that you need to be really mindful of that you don't get it caught up in the trap of these kind of thoughts. Because if you do, they can destroy any chance you have of success in network marketing. Now, if you're new to this channel, definitely want to go down to the bottom right corner of the screen, click that subscribe button and that little bell, and it'll give you an alert each time I post a brand new video. And if you get value out of this video, give me a high five. It'll really help my video, and I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's take a look at those four thoughts that are common to people who struggle and ultimately end up failing in business, in network marketing. Okay, so let's get started. It's interesting when you take a look at an athlete who has reached a certain level of expertise, they will take on a challenge and they believe in their heart that they can succeed. And yet somebody who has not achieved that level of success in athletics doesn't believe they can do what that other one can do. And Henry Ford said once, he said, if you think you can or if you think you can't, no matter which way you think, you're going to be right. You set a limit. When the 4-minute mile was broke, up to that point, nobody thought it could be done. And then as soon as it was done, as soon as that goal was achieved, well, then people started breaking that record all the time. It's interesting how we think inside a box, and we're used to, we do certain things that set us up for a certain type of a life. And if we want to have a different life, then we have to do things differently than we did before. Along that same vein that Henry Ford said, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. One of my coaches in network marketing told me, she said, Chuck, you've got to get rid of the junk in the trunk. You think you can't, you've never done it before, or maybe you have had some kind of a bad experience before doing something, and you take that bad experience with you to the next person you talk to. So maybe you just got hung up on, and the person, they were rude to you, and now you're going to go, you go to the next person, and you're dialing that number, and then when the person answers, you're expecting them to treat you the same way. You're expecting them to not want your opportunity. You expect them to reject you talking to them. They can tell that you're scared. They can tell that you sound abused or desperate, and you're bringing your junk with you to the next person. You've got to get your junk out of the trunk. Whatever values or beliefs you have that are preventing you from success, you have to identify them. You have to write them out and go, okay, these are things that I need to get out of my life. I got to stop carrying them with me. Maybe at one time they served you, but if you want to succeed, you need to have different thinking. I was listening to Jim Rohn, and he said, look at what unsuccessful people are saying, and don't say those things. Look where they're going. Don't go to those places. Look what unsuccessful people are eating. Don't eat their food. Find successful people and start modeling after them, and you're going to start having success. So whatever you put in your trunk, make sure that it's going to serve you, okay? When I first got involved in network marketing, I was introduced to a speaker. His name was Bob Proctor. He I live in Red Deer, Alberta. He came to, I don't recall if he came to Red Deer, but he did come to Calgary, and I did go to one of his conferences in Calgary, and I went to a conference in a town just outside of Edmonton of his. And Bob Proctor is an amazing man. You probably would have heard of Bob through the movie The Secret. That was a very famous movie, still is, and has inspired a lot of people to go beyond what they thought they could ever achieve. Bob Proctor was consumed with a book that he had read in his youth, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In fact, he was so consumed by it that he made it his life's work. And he one of the things that he said that really resonated with me was, what you think about, you become. So again, going back to that junk in the trunk, what do you think about yourself when you are going out and making calls? You're dialing people up, or you're going to go to somebody's house and share your business opportunity. Are you thinking about you becoming a success, or are you thinking about you've just wasted another $300 or $400 on another deal, and it's probably not going to go anywhere, and you're going to go and do this presentation, and it's just going to be a waste of your time. You're probably going to get rejected anyway. Well, you know what? That is what Bob was talking about. He said you have to visualize. You have to visualize your life. And in fact, one of the exercises he had us do was to write out our life in detail. The life that we want, not the life that we have, but the life that we want, that we want to forge, that we want to create. And so you had to write it out in detail, right down to the leather and how it felt in your hand with that Corinthian leather when you got in the car, and it was so wonderful, and the car driving down the road, and it was so smooth, and it's so sporty. Because you got the top. You always want to have this dream car, right? And so you're visualizing what that car is going to look like, what it's going to feel like, the people that you're going to meet, the places that you're going to go, the holidays you're going to take, all of those things. You need to write it all down. Think about those things. Even dream cards, having a card in your wallet, having a dream board in your office, in your home, or having a photo of something that you want to see happen, something you want to see materialize in your life, and having that up on your mirror in your bathroom, so that every morning and every night you're going to see that image that you want. So what you think about, you become. And again, Bob was quoting Napoleon Hill. Really, you need to believe. That's the biggest thing. You need to believe that you can achieve. I think one of the things that really takes the steam out of people is the fear of being judged. I'm kind of in front of the screen here. You can't read the print, but it's the fear of being judged. What will my friends think if I'm doing this network marketing business? What's my wife going to think, or what's my husband going to think? Are they going to think I've gone off the deep end? Funny story. When my wife came to me, she just came out of the hospital. She was recovering from cancer. She almost died, and she came out of the hospital. She was too weak to go back to work, and she went to a meeting this one evening with a girlfriend. She said, "Honey, would it be okay if I went out with this couple? They're going to go to a meeting, something, I don't know what it's about, but I want to go to it." And I said, "Yeah, sure, absolutely." I mean, she was cooped up in the house, and so I said, "Go." She came home, and she was all excited because she said, "Hey, I've got exactly what we need to help us with our finances." And it was about doing a telecom business. Now that telecom business is out of business, but it was an amazing company in its day, and when I first looked at it, I went, "Oh, those things don't work. It's a scam," and I just totally deflated her. And this was her contribution. She thought, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to share this with you, and you're going to, this is what I can give you, because I know you're good with people. I know you can do marketing. This is something that comes naturally to you, and so this is my contribution to our home." And I rejected her, and the next day after, because she was really beat up. I didn't mean to offend her, but I just didn't think it was going to work. And after the next day, I said, "You know what? I'll look at it, and I'll kind of see where, I'll see if it makes sense." And so I looked at it, and I wasn't convinced that it was something I wanted to do. Again, I had my own junk in the trunk about network marketing, and I thought, I don't want my wife feeling beat up, so I'm going to do this thing. I'll give it a go and see what happens. Not very much committal, but that's where I started from. And so that was in 2000, and it's 2018, and I love the business. I love the industry, and I've won trips, and so it's been great. But when I first looked at it, I thought, no, I didn't want to call my friends. I was supposed to make a list of people I was supposed to call. I didn't want to call them because I didn't want them feeling like I was trying to monetize them. And but you know what? I got over it, and it was kind of funny because like I had some great coaches, but I got over it. The biggest thing was just picking up the phone. Something that I really found was awkward is talking to people that I thought I knew, and I thought I knew how to talk, but my words just wouldn't come to me. Anyway, that was my biggest fear, is fear of being judged, I think, that I had resorted to a network marketing business. So, but what I can tell you is work through the fear, and the fear will go away. Another fear that people have when they go into network marketing is a fear of failing. And what if I do this and it doesn't work? Man, if I had $1 for every person that I spoke to over the phone who had that fear. They wanted to do something for their family. They wanted to create an extra income, and yet they didn't want to do it because what if I fail? What if it doesn't work? And what you got to think about is not what if it fails, but what if you succeed? What would it be like? I was talking to this one person this one time, and one of this person's wife had she had all these pains she was racked with pain in her body, and the product that I was marketing actually helped with inflammation, and a lot of people had experienced relief from pain, my wife included, because as I said before, my wife was recovering from cancer, and this product actually helped her with her pain, because she had been radiated and she was in a lot of pain all the time. But I said, well, what if you try this product and see how it goes for your family, and then if it feels good, then you could, if it helps you, then go ahead and market it. And he says, well, yeah, but what if it doesn't work for her and then she's going to be disappointed? I said, well, what if you give it to her and it helps her with her pain and she feels better? Why not focus on that one? Are you okay with your wife feeling pain all the time? And he thought about it and he decided, okay, I'll give it a go. But that's, this is so typical, is we're afraid of failure. And I know there's been things in my life that I didn't want to do because I didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want people, again, you go back to the judgment one that I just mentioned, fear of failure. What am I going to feel like? I'm going to feel like a loser. I don't want to feel like a loser. Well, what if you felt like a winner? See, we always want to gravitate to the negative side. But what if you gravitate towards the positive side? What would be the worst that would happen there? You could succeed. And even if you didn't succeed at first, what if you just kept doing it until you did succeed? Edison created over, I think it was something like 2,000 attempts to create an incandescent light bulb. And they asked him, how could you keep failing over and over and over again and keep going? He said, I didn't fail. He said, I just proved which ways wouldn't work. And that's what it's up. Colonel Sanders, he went to over 1,000 restaurants. Think about this guy. This guy's in his 60s. He's retired, and there was he had a restaurant, and the highway went right by his property, his restaurant. So life was good. He had a business that was going to help him in his retirement years. And then they come along and they reroute the highway, and now his restaurant is crickets. There's nobody coming over to his restaurant to eat his chicken, and he thought, well, what am I going to do? And the fear of not having any enough money to live on, because his pension wouldn't cover it, what was great enough. I guess he wanted to go after. He wanted to get back on his feet. So he went to 1,000 restaurants, trying to sell his recipe for chicken. Now, time after time after time, 1,000 no's. Man, if fear of failing, or fear of hearing no, and you keep going, it's me. No, it's not you. You just haven't found the right person yet. Just keep going. You're looking for the people that are looking. You're not failing if you don't quit. You're only failing if you do quit. So what you want to do is go through the failure until you get to the success, because success is on the other side of failure. Now, I don't know if you can see the picture behind me very clearly, but it's this dog, and he's like super bored. And it's the thing is like, I know that already. And I'm talking to somebody on the phone, and they're going, yeah, I know. And you can't work with somebody if you have that attitude of I know it already. Well, guess what? You're gonna stay exactly where you are. Think about this. You get involved in a network marketing company, and you're given the materials to go out and market your product or service, whatever it might be. And your coach says to you on Monday night, they have a Monday night meeting, and you're listening to the coach talk, and you go, yeah, I know that already. Yeah, this is just rehash. Ah, shoot, this is just a waste of my time. Well, you know what? What is it if it's such a waste of your time? If you already know everything, why aren't you the leader? Why aren't you the one who's successful? And the reason is because you don't really know it. One of the things that Bob Proctor told me, he says, Chuck, you don't know it until you can teach it. And and maybe you can't even really teach it until you actually live it. But you definitely um, you have to you have to get out there and do it, and do it and do it and do it, and until you become successful. Again, I want to go back to this. The leader who's making $500,000 or $1 million a year, and you both know the material. So what is it that makes you so much? Why are you getting paid so little for what you know compared to what the leader is earning, and you both know the same thing? My guess is it's about belief and knowing what you need to do and then going out and doing it. So maybe you don't really know what there's talking about. Maybe you just you got the head knowledge, but you don't have it in your heart yet, and you need to get it there. There's a belief out there. In fact, there's a saying that hard work, you have to work hard to get to the top. And I'm not saying you don't have to work and you don't have to work hard, but keep in mind that a ditch digger works hard. And just because he works hard doesn't mean he's ever going to become a millionaire digging ditches. Okay, so you need to work smarter, not just harder. Work hard, yes, but don't just work hard. You need to work smarter. I would recommend, one of the things that really made a big difference for me is having coaching and having a system to follow. And about in 2008, I came across a system, and I'll put a link down below this video. If you're interested, you can take a look at it. But what it came with was the training that I needed to learn in order to market online. How to set up a web page, how to do a blog, how to market on Facebook. It gave me all that kind of coaching. So I didn't have to, I wasn't just simply, trying to figure it out all on my own, and then buying a bunch of useless tools that don't work. It was a complete system, and that's, so it's not about working hard. It's about working smarter. If you're struggling in your network marketing business and you're thinking, you know what, George over there, he's calling me up. Maybe I need to go and join his network marketing business. Maybe it's better. That's a trap that some people get into. They think it's their network marketing business that's not working. And the truth is, it's them that are not working. The person who's failing in that network marketing business isn't working. And maybe, you take a look at the things that I talked about, the belief system, the junk in the trunk, the working smarter, not harder. All those things you need to take a look at and see, do you have that I know that already attitude? Because you need to follow one course of action. I like focus because it says focus. Focus stands for follow one course until successful, and that is such, oh man, that is solid gold. Follow one course until successful. So you have a network marketing business. Don't go and start another business until you get your network marketing business successful. Or if you're going to do a certain particular, maybe you're going to market your business a certain way. So you're going to use Facebook ads, or you're going to use blogging, or you're going to use Twitter, whatever it is. Find an approach, one approach, and then master it. Stop moving around thinking, well, I tried this for a couple months, or I tried that for a couple of weeks, or I tried this for 6 months, and it's not working. So I'm going to do something different. That's not how you're going to have success. If you're really serious about success, focus. and that's follow one course until you're successful. I was interesting because I was on YouTube the other day and I was listening to a fellow talk, and he had started his he works and he still actually is interesting because he's making $400,000 a year, and he's got a YouTube channel and he's marketing on YouTube, doing affiliate marketing. I'm not sure that he's in network marketing, but in any case, he was posting videos on YouTube, and he was helping people. He's coaching people on different aspects of marketing. And he started off like everybody else. He had no followers. He had no views. He had no success to say, hey, listen to me because I'm successful. He had none of that. But what he did have was he had focus. He did not quit. Over the course of 2 years, he posted 600 videos. And in his third year, he had his breakthrough, and he cracked $400,000 in annual income. Now, is everybody going to do that? No. But you know what? It goes to show that it's somebody who didn't know anything about anything. He's working his business around his job. He still works. He's going to be quitting this year. You're probably wondering, if he's making all that money, why has he got a job? He is quitting this year, but he's kept his job over the past 3 years. And so he was working his affiliate business on his off hours, and he's also got he's getting married this year, and he just got married. I'm not sure which now, but he has social life like everybody else, and yet but what he did was he carved out time to do one thing. He started marketing on YouTube, and he stuck with it until he got success. Guys, that's what it's about. It's about focus. So it doesn't matter whether you're doing Facebook, it doesn't matter whether you're doing Twitter, you could be doing Instagram, Pinterest, whatever form of marketing you're going to do, whatever network marketing business you're going to do. Stick with it until you're successful. Stop making excuses for yourself to allow yourself to, well, it's not my fault, it's their fault, or it's the company's fault, or it's the products weren't good enough. You know what? If that's such an easy one. Well, the products aren't good enough. Well, if that's true, then how come there's somebody making $1 million a year selling those products? I don't get it. How can that possibly be? Well, you know what? It's not the products. Well, they don't have a very good website. Well, you know what? How come the top income earner is using the same website as you? Oh, yeah, well, I don't know. So you try to come up with another excuse. You know what? The bottom line is, it comes down to one thing: focus. You've got to be a warrior. Just like this guy behind me. You've got to be a warrior, and you've got to be looking up. You've got to be believing that you're going to succeed. And you just keep doing it, just like Edison. You keep making those bulbs until finally the damn thing lights up. Okay? So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. And if it has, make sure, by the way, if you're new to this channel, click the subscribe button and the bell. It'll give you an alert each time I post a brand new video. And also, if you would, give me a high five. That'll really help my video. So you take care. I wish you all the best with your marketing efforts. I'll talk to you soon.